Hello everybody, this is Tucker Miller here again, and like I said, for my next movie review, I'm going to be reviewing on Orion and the Dark. Came out in 2024, so, which was this year. 2024 is about to end, so, yeah, and in a couple days will be 2025, so, anyways, let's get to the plot. So, plot of this movie is we got this boy named Orion who is pretty much afraid of a lot of stuff, especially the dark. Then one day, Orion got invited to go on this class field trip to like a space museum, but he doesn't want to go because he is so afraid, and he always gets bullied at school and all that, and he always gets picked on at school and pretty much and all that. And then meanwhile, while Orion was going to bed, he saw this dark figure or something like that, his name is actually Dark, and Orion and Dark got along quite well, and then Dark takes him to this like dimension, something like that, and to make him realize that there's nothing to be afraid of at night, at around nighttime. So that's pretty much what the plot of this movie is. Now, what can I say about Orion and the Dark? I think this is actually a very underrated movie. A very underrated DreamWorks movie from this year, 2024. And yeah, Orion in the Dark is a pretty underrated film from DreamWorks. The animation is really good, has great characters, a great story, has interesting story, and yeah, and interesting characters. And yeah, Orion in the Dark is a pretty underrated DreamWorks film from 2024. This film did not came out in theaters. It was actually a Netflix original movie. Yeah, this movie streamed on Netflix of February of this year. February of 2024. I believe, or was it January? I believe it was February. So yeah, I watched it a couple weeks ago, recently on Netflix, and I have to say, it's a very underrated movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But let's talk about the characters. Orion is a pretty interesting character. Like, you know, he is, at the beginning, he's pretty much afraid of a lot of stuff, and then later on in the film, he realized he is not afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid about. There's nothing to be afraid about a lot of stuff. So yeah, Orion is a pretty interesting character, and Dark, he's a great character, and so are the other crew, like the other characters from the dimension. I forgot what their names were, and the little girl, I forgot what her name was. I only watched this film once, and it was like not too long ago, like a couple weeks ago. So yeah, she's pretty good, and yeah, and those are the characters I can think of on top of my head. So yeah, Orion in the Dark. The animation is good. The story is great. Has an interesting story. And some very interesting characters. This is a pretty enjoyable movie. Definitely better than Definitely better than DreamWorks' last film, Trolls Band Together, which, yeah. This film is miles better than stuff like the Trolls movies and both of the Boss Baby movies. that film is miles better than those films. So yeah. Yeah, Orion Dark is a pretty interesting movie. Very underrated. Yeah, this is one of the best. This is one of the greatest Netflix original films. Like, there's other Netflix original films I also liked, which would be Leo, the one with Adam Sandler that came out in 2023. And that was a good one. I might do a video on that, do a review on that movie at some point. And a movie called Velma the Unicorn, which I thought Velma the Unicorn was actually a pretty decent movie. I didn't mind it. Yeah, I might do, like I said, I might cover Leo and Vanilla and Velma the Unicorn for a video sometime. Some other time. But now, back to Orion in the Dark. Yeah, Orion in the Dark is a pretty interesting DreamWorks film, like I said. Is a great movie. Is probably an underrated gem from DreamWorks. So, yeah. But anyways, that's all I can say about Orion in the Dark. So anyways, I'm gonna give Orion in the Dark a 10 out of 10. There are no flaws with this film. Very interesting movie. So, anyways, that is it for my movie review on Orion in the Dark. And stay tuned for my next movie review, which will be on Kung Fu Panda 4. But until then, see you in the next video. Bye.